As the original settlement to first break ground in Pine Harbor County, the growing city of Pinecrest Junction soon found its compact development detrimental to increasing demands for more public transportation and pedestrian traffic. Yes, the city had multiple tram services to move its citizens around the city, but the citizens wanted more. They wished to travel the train to Bunyan's Rest for a fun weekend amongst the tourists or to Braeburn for some shopping. But lest Pinecrest Junction demolish homes, the ability to add a train in the city was not currently foreseeable. That is, until the latest county council meeting, where the governor of Bunyan's Rest had a solution. Heyo and welcome to another episode of Pine Harbor County, where we will use and abuse the new operating district mechanic that was introduced in Cities Skylines 2. In today's episode, we are going to play around with some public transportation and extend one of our subway lines in Bunyan's Rest to accommodate the need for public transportation in Pinecrest Junction. Now, we're coming up on episode 30, which means another viewer-suggested video is in the works. Last week, I collected the suggestions from the comments, and this week is your week to vote on what you want to build. So when you're done watching this episode, head on over to the channel's YouTube page and go to the community tab to vote on your favorite idea. The top 2 winners will be featured and built in episode 30. All right, so with all that said, let's get started and get some transportation for our citizens. Alrighty, so in today's episode, we are going to be giving the citizens of Pinecrest Junction another method of transportation into Bunyan's Rest. And even though we'll be accommodating Pinecrest Junction over here to the left side of the river, we're actually going to be building this transportation hub here on the right-hand side in Bunyan's Rest. The main city is down in this area. This is where we've built so far. This is a part of the overarching district though, so it actually comes all the way out here. So we're going to focus on this area right here. And what I'm actually planning on doing is connecting in a pedestrian bridge here and here, and then building a subway station right about here. If you recall, back in, I think, episode 20, we actually pulled in a a subway track into this area, and this is what we will be connecting in. So, even though usually I would start road layouts with arterial roads, I'm actually going to start with the pedestrian roads because that is going to be the main priority. So if we come on in here, and I'm going to turn on probably just our snap to existing geometry and angles and our pedestrian roads. Knock that down a little bit. I just want to come on in. I think I'd like to go about 64 by 64 curved road first. We're just going to extend that out here for now, because next what I'd like to do is do something similar over here. So I think this one we will go 64 by 64 because I don't really want to cut off too much of the buildings over here. Okay, so for now we've got these guys in here. So I just really wanted mainly a template. so that this way we know that the subway track will probably loop in like this, and the pedestrian connections will be like so. And yeah, so we'll get that started just like that for now. Now that we do have that general frame, let's actually prioritize placing this subway station in and drawing the track up to it, so that way we can draw in the other road networks without having too much worries in regards to the road layout. So let's plop that on in, and then I am going to actually resync right here, because subway tracks cannot intersect with other road assets. All right, and then while we're in here, let's actually also just extend out these arterial roads here. So for the most part, this will probably stay very basic. Okay, and then let's take a second. Let's just fill in the rest of this area, especially because I kind of just thought of a really fun little plan here. So let's do a quick time lapse and let's create a fun little road layout. Okay, definitely a funkier road layout that I usually make, but I think it came out pretty good, honestly. When all is said and done, it does not look half bad. Just gonna add in a little decoration really quickly here, especially because I don't want people parking. And yeah, this is the main section here that I wanted to focus on. And we've got that built in. All right, so right away, I want to come in here. And even though we already have some people walking, I want to encourage even more walking. So let's get that subway line. What I'll actually probably do, coming out here, let's come into our info tab and let's take the subway line number 1 and let's just make it red, just so we can easily find it. And then let's grab that subway line and let's drag it all the way out here. Now the subway will actually connect much further. So if we pull everything back over, the subway line now is connecting from the underground station we have here in the main industrial harbor district. And it's going to go all the way over here. So we're going to start seeing a lot of people stepping back and forth on these bridges to connect in. Alrighty, so now I do want to actually add in a couple of assets to this area. And I think where I'd like to start is actually by adding some parking first. While most of this is pedestrian area, I do think just a teensy bit of parking would not be a bad idea. So what I'm going to try and do is actually upgrade this road here. Hopefully won't destroy zoning. Okay, perfect. And I do want to add in the underground parking lot. So we are going to turn off snapping and get this as snugly in here as we can. Let's just see what it looks like from down low. Awesome. Perfect. Almost kind of curious if we should fit a park in here as well. Maybe we'll add in a bit of a custom park here during the Beautifying the Build time-lapse. But for now, I do like having the asset kind of just sit just like so. And the skyscrapers from Woodbine look awesome against this. Oh, that's just so good. All right. So next, I do want to do a little bit of decorating with some additional transportation options, aka I want to add some taxi shelters. I'll admit it. We have had such a surplus in taxis. So if I just come into the transportation tab and scroll out here, we have taxis over here, all the taxis in here, just taxis everywhere. So I figured it wouldn't be a bad idea to put a taxi stand right in this area here, just to kind of give them a little bit of a spot. And then the last asset I want to add is right here in our signature buildings. I want to add these CO10 condos. I don't know if I'm reading that right. I think I'm reading that right. So what I want to do is I want to come on in and I want to position these right here, but a little bit off the roadway. And I do just want to get a little dog park right across from it. Just like so. Okie dokie. And finally, before we jump into a Beautifying the Build time lapse, I want to get this area filled in with some zoning. So let's come on in. And first, what I want to do is actually put some specific mixed density. Goodness, can't talk. Some North American mixed housing right here. And there is this little 4x4 asset that I have just been in love with. So we're going to place some of those there. How about some row housing right here? And maybe along this little chunk here. Okay, and now that we have a pedestrian bridge right here and a transportation station here, I think it would make sense that we would see the density and the height of the buildings over here in Pinecrest Junction actually increase. So I also want to come in and actually upgrade some of these buildings to have more chunk. It's so interesting because I think all this traffic that we're seeing right here is all due to what we just built up. And it was a gentle transition, but I think it's going to shape everything up very nicely in this area. Because now that's just wicked junky. Alrighty, I think this is a good spot to start a Beautifying the Build time lapse and give the simulation some time to catch up with the building we just did. Please enjoy, and I'll see everyone shortly. So that just about wraps up today's episode. Don't forget to head on over to the channel and to the community page to vote on the upcoming viewer-suggested video. If you enjoyed today's episode, please consider hitting the like button, the subscribe button, and let me know your favorite part in the comments below. Until next time, I hope everyone has a phenomenal week.